What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to another Real Housewives of Atlanta recap, which aired on Sunday, January 13th on Bravo. So the show starts off where we left off at from last week with the argument between Kandi and Portia. Kandi pretty much said she's done with it all. She even got petty enough as to go and unfollow Portia on Twitter. I don't know if Portia had unfollowed her first, but Nene told her there's no need to be petty and let's just move on. And so everyone changed into their oriental clothing and headed up to Tanya's hibachi room, where they were served straight from off the hot grill as the chef prepared them a hot meal, which was like a Tokyo style meal. I don't know, you guys, I forgot. But anyway, so Nene went to look for Portia because she didn't go with them as they got ready to head on the as they got ready to head to the table for the meal. And so Nene went to talk to Portia, and she just said she's just tired of the drama. She's over it. She's just tired of the back and forth between her and Kandi. She didn't want it to blow up like that, but I guess she just needs to get that off her chest about what happened that night at Todd's party. So all the ladies went down to the table outside on the balcony to finish up their meal. And they was looking for Shamira, and she was still upstairs eating. Now, she was trying to eat with the chopsticks, and she couldn't. A lot of people who don't know how to really eat with the chopsticks, they're going to get frustrated and be like, do y'all have any forks? So the chef, he handed her a fork. She was eating her food. But anyway, pretty much that's how the night ended with the ladies. And so what else happened? And so they started talking again about the whole thing with Tanya trying to throw shade with Nene about the cheap shades, and just going back to the same old as they do every week about the whole night when they put on the little talent show and stuff like that. And so Portia makes a comment that Eva, it's funny how she is quick to point out other people throwing shade when she has a way of throwing shade as well. And so Eva was like, who, me? When did I throw shade? And Portia was like, well, you threw shade about Cynthia, and she said that you said that she's like the mother of modeling or something like that. And Eva, I don't know how she quickly got off the subject, but anyway, she just pretty much denied it, I guess. And then she invites all of the ladies. She mentioned that she wanted to make peace. That was the whole point of her, her whole thing of being there and stuff. She just wanted to make peace, make amends with everybody, and just start over fresh with everyone. Plus, she announced that she wanted to invite all the ladies to come to Tokyo. And that was her way to apologize. She told Nene that she apologized for not inviting her and the rest of the ladies to whatever she had going on in the past with the engagement and all that kind of stuff. And she just told Nene that she's closest to her the most. She apologized. And she can't wait for them to have fun in Tokyo. So on to Nene and Greg. Greg has a personal chef coming over who's supposed to be like a vegan chef. Nene was mentioning that in the past, she's always encouraged Greg to eat healthy, as she did, but he never took it serious enough to do so. And now he's looking more into eating healthy since battling cancer. And she said that it's been difficult taking care of Greg because he has his bad days, and a lot of the times he take things off on her like something serious. And I mean, the lady was sitting there, she had a list of things that she suggests that he eat, or just a list of things that he can, agree to or not. And he was so rude when he was telling her, and all that stuff on that list I ain't eating. And I'm like, I don't know if they just edit the show out like that, or if it was more said before they filmed that part, because I really hope he wasn't talking to her like that. Like the whole while she, was sitting there talking to him about the food that he should eat. Because if that's the case, he was being very rude. And and that's just her job. Her job is to come there and give him a list of things. I know she's not forcing him to eat anything that he don't want to eat. He can choose to eat what he want to eat. She probably suggests a few things, but just like she mentioned carrots, and he was like, no, I don't want carrots. I don't want broccoli. And she was like, okay, and you're right. It's not like she was insisting that he eat those things. So he really should pipe down a little bit. And I cannot imagine what a person is going through, when they battling cancer and stuff like that, or not so much battling cancer, because he's pretty much just trying to cleanse everything out of him now and find a good, healthy menu to stick to, so that he won't have to be, so much worrying about polluting his body again. And I guess he can prevent the cancer to return in that way. I don't know. I don't really know too much about that. I don't, forgive my ignorance if I don't really know that much about cancer and everything and the foods that you should be eating or shouldn't be eating. But yeah, so Candy, Eva, and Marlo, they all met up to get a bite to eat. And they were just talking about everything that happened the night before. Candy said that she is just completely over it. And then Cynthia, her and her man Mike showed up. Cynthia sets a timer. And she asked the ladies now if it's anything that y'all, I guess she set the timer for 15 to 20 minutes. And she said, anything y'all want to ask Mike, go ahead on and get the questions on out the way. So they were asking questions. I forgot what Eva asked. I think Eva asked, how do you feel about her? And he was like, she's a good person, all that kind of good stuff. Obviously, he was going to say good stuff about her. And then Marlo asked about some STDs. Like, I don't know what to say about Marlo sometimes. That just kind of throw me off. I forgot what the man even said. And Candy, of course, she always got to be gooder, asking stuff about sex and stuff like that. So that scene just was completely uncalled for on the show tonight. And so after that, so Marlo asked him, was he screened for STDs and stuff? Anyway, it's just something about the women on these shows that kind of annoys me, is that they throw themselves in people's personal business way too much. And that's why I kind of don't blame Kenya for not wanting to bring her man on the show. So Candy decided to put on this show. She said since it was so much drama over the last few years about the dungeon, and then they showed a clip of Portia when she mentioned about the dungeon and stuff like that. So she said she want to put on this other type of show, and it's still having stuff to do with sex, but it's like a I don't know. I just completely forgot. I'm sorry, but it has something to do with them. I know she wants the people that's going to be in her show to dress up in like sexy lingerie. I don't know if she said it's going to be taking place like in a castle. I don't know, y'all. She just lost me with all that. It's like I just tune out Candy when she starts talking about all that kind of stuff. It's like that's the only thing she could bring to a conversation. If she's not just talking about somebody else's business or her business or writing songs for somebody, it's about that. Like she don't have nothing else to talk about to me. So as Shamira, she says she wants Shamira to sing like how she had Portia to sing in one of her plays. So Shamira tried on some of the sexy lingerie. She FaceTimed Ron so he can see her when she tried the clothes on. And he had like this big Kool-Aid smile from Italy. It was just too funny. So Portia, she's going to therapy to talk to her therapist about her relationship. And just to kind of distinguish what's good for her and what's not so good for her relationship. Like what's unhealthy, especially since she's pregnant. And the things that she really needs to not so much focus on so that she won't be stressed out She says she don't want to go back to being that old Portia that lost herself or didn't know who she was. Because when she was with her ex-husband, it's like, I mean, he wore the pants, but he just completely controlled her to where, she didn't have a say-so over her own life or over any type of little decision she wanted to make. And we seen that for ourselves, how controlling Cardell was. And so she said when she was so used to being single for a while, she gained a strength and she gained back her sense of self and just knowing that, she can control herself and her well-being and just be happy again. So now that she's back in a relationship, she have to adjust to being able to juggle being in a relationship and being confident with knowing that she can still be that way that she was when she found herself when she was single. She also, so the therapist was like, well, can't you be both? Can't you still be, that confident person that you were when you were single? And she was just, I guess trying to figure out how to be that way. Because all the little stuff that came up with Dennis and the women of his past or the woman of his past that came up during Todd's party. So she brought up about Todd's party and a female that was there that Dennis was involved with and stuff like that. And her main concern is just not wanting to lose herself while she's in a relationship. So hopefully the therapist can kind of help her figure that out, or hopefully the therapist did help her figure that out. She did advise her to just sit down and talk to Dennis so that she won't be feeling insecure about things that may have happened with him or something that he probably not mentioning or being that truthful about. So Greg's party was full of family and his kids were all there, and also his sister came. And Greg proposed to toast everybody and just told everybody to go ahead on and taste the food. Now, this is the food that he wanted on his menu. I guess like a vegan menu. And so everybody was eating. Nene and her sister-in-law sat down and was talking, and she said, well, thank you for taking care of Greg. And I'm like, well, of course she's going to take care of him. That's her husband. But she was saying, I know he could be a handful. And Nene was just expressing how Greg, he can be pretty tough to take care of, and how he can be pretty grouchy and snappy with her, especially after he come home from his doctor visits. She was just talking about how overwhelmed she is with helping him get through all of this and how it's just taking a toll on her. So Portia tells Dennis that she went to see the therapist, and this is coming to the end of the show. And I'm noticing how Dennis is leaning on the side of the bed looking at Portia, and he just had this expression like, I don't know if he's just like that, if that's just the way he looked. Like he has this resting face that looks unconcerned, just nonchalant. If he's just that type of person, or if he just don't care, like if he is hiding something. Like he got this sneaky look about him. And I know, I really don't like to say that people look sneaky. I don't like saying that because I've been told that like all my life, just because I'm quiet and I don't give people the reaction that they want. But in this case, it's like she's pouring her heart out to you about something that's worrying her, obviously, and stuff. And I don't know, he just always just so like he don't care. Like he's just way too laid back and just don't care. I don't know. But hopefully he doesn't feel that way. Hopefully that's just his resting face. That's just the way he look. So she was just basically telling him that she just feel like in those situations, she just feel by herself. And she needs to know that he's going to be on board, and to be on board with her to face these little accusations that come up. He got to be able to own it if it is something that he did. Like, don't have her out here looking like a fool, just for the sake of being in a relationship, because she can't be by herself again. And I don't blame Portia. And I like this new Portia. Like, this new Portia is giving me so much of confidence and growth. And I mean, I really just admired from what we used to see her as to what she is today. I really like this new Portia and how she's able to express herself better and just let people know, that she's no tolerance for the BS. So she's pretty much just telling Dennis that she gonna need him for to be all the way 100 with her if they gonna do this. And he was like, well, you talking about, the texting thing, you text people too. She was like, I know that, but that was like completely besides the point. That was besides the point. It's not just about that. And she don't feel like that he cheating on her and stuff, but she just need him to be more verbal about stuff and really be in there with her. And I just understood what she was saying. So he just felt like it was nothing to make a super big deal about. He reassured her that they are good, they're on the same page, and she don't have nothing to worry about. And, I want to trust them. I'm rooting for them, and I really hope that, what they have is real and it's a good thing and that it lasts forever. Or, if it's meant to be, I'm really rooting for him. I'm happy for Portia if she happy for him if he happy with Portia. And so that's pretty much how this episode came to an end, y'all. I'm sorry if I was kind of like all over the place. I've been discombobulated for the last few hours. But, that's how this episode came to an end. And if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment.